Daniel, I don't know what you made of the performance. Friday night, you were quite animated watching the encounter. I'm sure you've had a few days to chew on it and probably point out the reasons why the Black Stars could not get 3 points against Gabon in the AFCON.
Ramos. No, that's it.
It was a Sergio Ramos.
You don't get it, do you?
No, I don't get the joke. I missed that.
He's coming to defend their performance.
Okay. The chief defender.
Look, the performance wasn't the best. We have to be honest. It wasn't the best. But like Susu said, it was good enough to win the game. And I just think it was, first of all, tactical indiscipline. And then, of course, if you want to push it a bit more, you can say the Gabonese should have been more sportsmanlike in what happened.
What about the coaching? Or that's part of the tactical indiscipline?
Not necessarily. I'm saying tactical indiscipline because I will show you Gabon's goal could have been prevented.
Okay.
If the Black Stars players were locked in. But I want to start from the positives first of all. Let's start with the Ghana goal. And Thomas Partey's role in the Ghana goal. Now, in all the pre-match analysis we've done with Black Stars matches, I have maintained the fact that I always want Partey in that deep role, to create from deep. And it looks like that is what Milo wants him to do. Now, if he can take and see pitch and he has runners, he will always find you. He has that quality, he has the eye for the pass. You don't want him in that number 10 slot, very tight in the half spaces, having to think. I don't think he has that skill and his vision suits that sort of role. So I feel he's better off in the deep role. And you see it in the Black Stars goal. It was a simple one. Wolacott and played it to Amate. Amate gives it to Partey. Partey lifts his head. And this is what I like about the goal. Not just Partey, it's a combination of two things. Partey and Daniel Tress run.
Tress run, yes.
That's the intelligence that you expect your Jordan Ayew to be making. But Jordan is literally just a passenger. He loves the ball to be played to his feet. And that's an aspect of his game that I don't necessarily like, especially when you want your attacking players to be moving around and creating space. Jordan doesn't give you that. But if you look at Daniel Tress, who's right here, he literally drags the defender away from Andre Ayew, takes this guy away from Andre Ayew, and before he realizes, as the Gabonese captain, the ball is moving to Andre Ayew and he quickly needs to adjust. But just stop it here. This is also the brilliance of Andre Ayew. After this, it's just individual brilliance. The first touch, the turn, and then the willingness to take the shot is something that it's class. Only somebody with this sort of class can.
It wasn't a chance at all.
It wasn't a chance, and he explains even in Susu's XG ratings. It doesn't really count as a chance. So it was more of a fantastic individual effort from Andre Ayew. When I say the Gabonese goal could have been prevented, this is what I'm talking about. The double team on the right-hand side against Yadom.
Yeah.
It was a left back,
Johan
Obiang and Alevinia. When Alevinia came on, double teaming on Yadom. Now, in the pre-match analysis, I spoke about the fact that Gabon almost always use the outlets out wide to get their goals. Even when there are options through the middle, they tend to go out wide. I actually mentioned Alevinia's name as having quality on the ball. His technique is something that the Black Stars need to watch out for. And that's why in the pre-match analysis, I also put Jordan as right midfield. And I sort of understood why Joseph Pencil was not in the starting lineup, because of Jordan's defensive superiority when it comes to that aspect of his game. But Jordan didn't do that. And he didn't do, in fact, I won't say he didn't do that because there were some aspects where he did, but he didn't do that enough. And this is where I'll criticize him, because I can bet, I'm not one who likes saying these things, but if I'm being serious, I can bet you that Jordan would have done this if it was Crystal Palace. We see him, I'm serious, we see him killing himself for 95 minutes for Crystal Palace. Some of the best pressing numbers in Europe, if not the best. But he seemed very slack in his defensive responsibilities in this game. You look at this. This is Jordan Ayew. This is the guy with the ball, Alevinia. Alevinia has an overlapping runner. Jordan Ayew can see that Andy Adam is in trouble. But if you watch his body language, he doesn't really make any proper attempts to try and recover. And Andy Adam is overlapped. This could easily have ended up in a goal. It took, I think, was a goal-saving header from Was it
He stopped running. Jordan.
He just stopped.
Yeah.
He literally just stopped.
And the player that took the shot, he could have prevented that shot.
That shot. In fact, he could have prevented the outlet to Obiang from getting that crossing. So this is just one out of 1,000 moments where Jordan Ayew just failed to do his defensive responsibility. And if you look at the goal that Gabon scored, I say it could have been prevented from multiple angles. First one is the fact that the Black Stars players were literally waiting for Gabon to return the ball. It's 85 minutes or so.
They are 1-0 down.
They are 1-0 down. Once the ball passes the initial guy who had the ball and he gives it to another player, you should know that they are not going to give you the ball. Second of all, in fact, this should be my first point. It is not a rule. So you play, just keep playing. If they don't give it to you, you've covered it. If they give it to you, fine. But you don't stop. Look at Partey pointing. Look at Edmondado pointing. And these are especially Edmondado. He's supposed to be in this zone. But he's walking. He's literally walking and pointing at the referee, asking the referee to do what? To order Gabon to give the ball back to Ghana. Again, it's not a rule. And this is down to football education. It is not a rule. It is a courtesy. So if they decide not to do it, yes, you can talk all you want. But it's not going to go against them in terms of punishment. It is not. So you, Edmond Ado, it is your job to make an attempt. In fact, you are supposed to be in your starting zone in the first place, not out of your zone pointing at the referee. Second of all, this is something I highlighted before the game. The outlet, out wide. Once they have you isolated, they are more or less going to punish you. And for the Black Stars, at this point in the game, to have somebody who is not necessarily the best one-on-one defender, and Diadom, having to take on Alevinia, who is actually very good, and not just with his left foot, with both feet also.
Plus he was a sub. He was way fresher.
He was fresh. And they were literally just waiting for this opportunity. That's why I say it's tactical and discipline, first of all, from Edmondado, from Jordan Ayew, because he should have closed down this runner much quicker. Daniel Trey should be behind the ball. If you are defending a goal at this time, these guys should be behind the ball. You cannot be, or you should be in front of the ball. You cannot be behind the ball at this particular point in time. And if you play it on, this is where I say I will not blame Andy Adam, because everybody before the game knew that if you isolate him one-on-one, that is a weakness. So you don't expose that weakness, finish and come and blame him for that. You put in place a tactical plan that can hide that weakness, and that tactical plan involved Jordan Ayew helping him out.
Okay.
Involved the likes of Edmondado and co. being in the right position to prevent this from happening, especially if this happened in the first minute of the game. I may understand, because it's taking them a bit more time to settle. But when it's 5 minutes in the end of the game and you have a lead to protect, and you are fresh off the bench in Edmondado, you are a Jordan Ayew who's been given a task to help out your fullback defensively, and you are in a position like this. First of all, what's he even doing here? That's my point. What is Jordan Ayew standing here for? And if you are standing here, you should have been making a better effort to close down the passer. I don't blame Andy Adam for what happened. I think he did his best, threw his body on the line. Unfortunately for him, the ball ended up in the back of the net. But these are things, I always say that these are things that Milo and his guys will go back and look at. These are things that they need to learn, especially that concentration in the last 10 minutes. You cannot keep conceding goals in the last 10 minutes if you want to win championships. And the Black Stars definitely need to set up in the next games.